Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host, Edward the Decisive, and today we have The Last Kingdom, Season 5, Episode 5. So we're at the halfway point. A lot has gone on, and really big move last episode was Edward's decision to get rid of the Mercian Eldermen. They were corrupt. They took the bribe from Lord Aethelhelm. And yeah, Edward just removed them from the board. I'm not dealing with that, a second time, I guess was his thought process. And I get that it's a very aggressive move, but honestly, if they're taking bribes from Lord Aethelhelm, like they're not much good to anyone really, so it's probably best that they just go away for good. I know that comes off as very cutthroat, but you gotta root out corruption, root and stem as soon as you identify it, in my opinion. Now, as far as possible implications, I do really like the fact that Edward has centralized authority around himself. King Hal is probably gonna pop up again at some point, the King of Wales. He still wants revenge against Sitragar for the death of his brother and, the sacking of his villages. He was on that religious pilgrimage like way back at the end of season 4. Possible negative consequences that might pop up is the whole situation with Sitragar and the Danes that, feel betrayed, and I think rightly so, by Wessex, by Mercia. He might see this move by Edward to seize power as a direct threat to him if he did it to Mercia. Who's to say he won't do it to the Danes? Other than that, I'm really not a big fan of the whole Christian Brita storyline that seems to be developing. Look, I like Father Pulik, and I always liked Father Beorka, great characters, but the fact that they're so devout detracts from them, in my opinion, and I'm really not a fan of any storyline where they pursue a redemption arc through Christianity for Brita. I'm not really a big fan of Brita's whole religious turn this season to start with, but I think her converting to Christianity would just be a total betrayal of what the character is, and it really doesn't make any goddamn sense whatsoever. As far as I'm concerned, a character can do things so horrible that there is no possibility whatsoever for redemption for them, and I think Brita has done that this season, if not, considering last season. The sacking of Winchester, that was a never coming back from this moment. She should be exiled at the very least, if not outright killed. The fact that she came back and then, invaded and caused all these problems. Yeah, there is no story in my mind that would make any sense that doesn't end with her death. And if they try and, shoehorn in this redemption Christianity arc, it doesn't make any sense. And I don't get why the writers would try to force the pieces together, but unfortunately I could see it unfolding. And that would be a huge problem for me personally for how I view Season 5. We're about to cross the halfway point with this reaction, and I feel like Season 5 started off really strong, and then kind of hit some bumps in the road, and now it's kind of at like a turning point where there were some really good moments. I really did like what Edward just did, and I like the whole storyline with the scheming and, potentially Aethelstan becoming king this season and how they get to that point. But the whole thing with Brita and possibly becoming Christian after losing her daughter in a very stupid way, like, those are problems, and I just gotta be honest about how I feel about it. But yeah, we gotta get through this one, and we still have the second half of the season, so I don't want to make it seem like I've already cast judgment on the season. It's still up in the air. It still could overall end up being a really good season. It's just, we definitely have hit some bumps to start things off. But that's not to say things couldn't get a lot better very soon, very quickly. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's still an excellent show in my opinion. But yeah, I really need to get to this, so Patreon link down below. With that, let's get right to the episode.
I imagine Sitragar will be unsettled by the news from here.
That would make sense.
Should I have shown more mercy? Was there another path?
A kingdom is never made without bloodshed, but it does not need to be ruled by fear.
Accept these offerings from our table. Feast here as our guests.
Do you think he's sincere?
I can no longer read his mood.
The brutality. The way he dishonors mother.
I need to be certain that nothing can be traced back to me. The men can bear none of my insignia.
Yes, I understand. All say they are from King Sigtryggr.
Causing more fucking problems.
This could start a war between Christian and Dane.
Hopefully, yes. Ideally, the king falls in battle, and Elfweird inherits a land free of the heathen curse.
Really should have taken Lord Aethelhelm off the board when Edward dealt with the Eldermen. It was he who bribed them, so that's justification to kill his ass.
Be careful. It could be a trick for thieves. Stand back until they're gone.
Lady, please.
Do not be soft-hearted. Stay. He is a soul in need.
Stupid.
Which one of these is the farm girl from Lawes?
I am the visionary.
We were sent by King Sigtryggr.
Oh god. Kidnapping the queen? Those are Aethelhelm's men.
I fear we could be next. That he will come to conquer.
Take a band to the border and double the patrol.
Send a warning to the king himself.
Makes total sense. Fucking Heston.
Said Sigtryggr wanted vengeance. The travelers with the dead queen.
Oh my god, there is no way that the Aethelhelm killed his own daughter.
Take the body down. Clear all traces of this.
Wow, holy shit. I remember it was like a minor scene, but the queen wanted to go on this pilgrimage. The king didn't want her to do it because it could be viewed as Wessex trying to expand on like Scottish territory on these isles or whatever.
She's with me still. And we both must walk with wounds that will not heal.
I have chosen you a husband. Someone you know.
Is it Aethelstan? Oh my god. That would be awesome.
The Lady Elswith has noted your affection for her granddaughter. Marry her.
If Elfwin marries you, no Ealdorman can force her hand.
It didn't work out quite how I thought, but, you know.
Where's this visionary now?
I placed her with my kin. War will come from this.
Why would Sigtryggr do something so stupid?
He wouldn't.
His brother then? Or breeder?
Perhaps Mercians seeking revenge.
There's so many bad actors right now, but I really think it was Aethelhelm who sent his men. They were not expecting the queen to be in that group.
I cannot think Edward will spare your daughter when he retaliates.
Must make Sigtryggr denounce the sect. If they hear the story of Sigtryggr killing a queen, there will be a slaughter beyond breed at her worst.
Yeah, every Dane has an interest to help Uhtred out here.
The war should end, breeder, and the war within you.
I accept your offer of safe passage and protection.
Why?
Uhtred.
But my offer was to Edward. He is the king.
But Uhtred is the enemy with whom I must reconcile. I thought you believed I was ready for redemption.
I don't think she wants redemption. I think she's going to fight Uhtred, lose, and just be done with it.
This has gone wrong.
You'll do what? Send an assassin to kill me?
It's your own fucking doing. He doesn't know his daughter's dead, but he knows, you know, the people he put in charge were psychotic about it.
We must locate her and the Lady Elfwin in case there is a plot forming.
Do not start changing the plan.
An atrocity has occurred against the faith.
I need to leave Elisbeth tonight.
That man is looking for Elfwin. That one.
Is he the king's man?
I do not know.
I would like to have this properly confirmed.
Damn right.
You choose now to act with caution?
Will not be moved to retaliate until I am certain. When he hears of this, he will have to retaliate.
Which is why we have sent men to our border.
I will go to him with your denial. Though were you to journey with me, this matter could be settled easily.
And leave Jorvik undefended once again. I have given my word. That is enough.
What is the word of Sigtryggr?
The King Edward! Chooses to come north! We will be ready!
That was fucking stupid. They didn't deny anything.
I do not understand this reluctance.
Rather than press for battle, I would ask you take a gift to the Scots.
If that is your order, I shall gladly leave.
He still hasn't been punished for the bribes. Like, come on, dude.
I need a loyal man to lead the Mercian Guard. If I cannot trust my son, who can I trust?
If Edward cannot be provoked, perhaps Sigtryggr can.
Bastard.
Dane assassins who killed her now disguise themselves in godless Rumkofa.
That's Uhtred's place.
For too long, we have let the Dane threat live alongside us.
Whose men are you?
You come from the king. Dane murderers are hiding here and you must hand them over.
This is gonna be bad.
No Dane here would kill Queen Elfled. They are good people.
Why'd you speak of Queen Elfled?
Oh, you idiot.
Send them up and then wait downriver until I say it's safe to return here.
Oh, God. It's just a fucking slaughter. Oh my God. Wow, that was fucking brutal.
They came for me. They did. They spoke my name. She stood for me. Claimed my place in the slaughter.
All things considered, it was actually brave.
Brother Nostra. Quias in Caelis.
Do not do that. Danes, they have other customs.
Throughout the series, Uhtred's men have by and large been bulletproof except for some rare exceptions. It was pretty damn shocking losing Osferth like that, bastard son of Alfred, nephew of Leofric too, kind of the last of him in the entire show. This is just gonna pour gasoline on the fire.
Someone should tell her father. That falls to me. As penance for ignoring his warnings about the Danes.
Oh god.
We must ready both armies to extract justice from Sigtryggr, his wife, for mine.
Oh, Jesus.
I did not know her well.
But you hummed her husband nonetheless. Ignored the bonds of matrimony, gave your flesh freely, and brought the wrath of God.
Dude, who the fuck are you to lecture anyone right now?
That is your own guilt speaking. Do not seek to place this on me, for I am blameless.
We are not blameless! How can this be anything other than judgment?
My God is not vengeful. This is the work of men, not God. Find the men that wronged her and have them feel your wrath.
Forgive me. We will go north and confront Sigtryggr.
Lord Ethelhelm. He spoke of the dead visionary and pressed for vengeance, but did not speak of the queen. He did not know. She journeyed in secret.
There you go. It's clicking.
What if he planned it?
Yeah.
What of his own daughter? No, Valis. Ethelhelm was unaware his daughter traveled with the pilgrims. So he arranged to kill the visionary to poison the people against the Danes. What news of Runecover?
Where's Osferth? Finan, where is Osferth?
Finan! Where's Osferth?
Our army will destroy Edward's army upon the high hills.
Make him welcome.
This way, Lord Ethelstan.
Coming right into his camp like this, my god.
Your daughter was traveling with the pilgrims, and was also slaughtered.
Your plan backfired, douchebag.
Lord, put down the knife.
No, it is the honorable way.
Since when have we done the honorable thing, Lord?
That's a really good point. Okay, took some time just to gather my thoughts. That was a really good episode. That was probably the best episode of Season 5 thus far, in my opinion. And Episode 1 was a really good start to a season, one of the strongest starts to any season in the entire show, but that episode knocked it out of the park. So, Lord Æthelhelm has really just royally fucked everything up here, and I don't see an easy way back for any side, honestly. He came up with this cockamamie plan to butcher these Christian pilgrims who were traveling to some island that I believe was technically under control of the Scots. King Edward had warned his wife that showing any favoritism towards this group that was traveling there could be viewed as an affront by the Scots and it might create problems. The Queen went with that group, which was then attacked and completely butchered. The Queen has always been a very minor character, even when she was first introduced. But that was a pretty impressive moment, I have to say. She stuck up for the priestess or whatever, took her place in the slaughter, and allowed her to be spared. But yeah, her death just sets off an entire powder keg. Edward had shown a lot of restraint and he wanted to kind of rein things in. It's like, okay, I know I've taken this, very drastic measure by killing all these eldermen, but they were corrupt and that's not who I am as a leader or as a king. Tried to, pull himself back from the brink and, show a little bit of humility in the moment, but the situation just isn't going to allow him to do that. His hand is going to be forced to act and act decisively once again. The Danes see the death of the Queen as a plot by Edward. He didn't like her anyway, he wanted to get rid of her. Now he can blame her death on the Danes, which gives him justification to attack. Edward sees the death of his wife as him not listening to Lord Æthelhelm and, his constant drive throughout the entire episode to attack the Danes before, things get out of hand. And yeah, it's really just a house of cards that's being set on fire, like, as an earthquake is happening. Things could not be going worse for, the Alliance. We had some really big deaths this episode. Right off the bat, losing the Queen the way we did, I was not expecting that. I thought Lord Æthelhelm's men would, show restraint for the Queen, but he hired just some, local goons or whatever, and they didn't know who she was. She said she was the priestess, they believed her, and, they killed her. That's what they came there to do. Most gut-wrenching one, though, has to be what happened with Osferth. Finneran blames himself. There was that tough situation where his wife needed help, and also Osferth was fighting 2-on-1 there, and Finneran, went for his wife to help her out of that situation. Very natural from him. He turns around to go go back and help Osferth, it's too late because he gets stabbed. He died very brutally, but that really wasn't the moment that got me. I was just in shock watching it happen. Uhtred's asking Finneran what happened to Osferth, and he can't get out the words because he blames himself for it. Really shitty situation to be in. There was really nothing they could do. They were outnumbered like 3-1 easily. It didn't make any sense because if that was a group of Danes, they would have been alerted to their presence and would have had time to actually organize something. But because there were Saxons operating under the command of Lord Aethelhelm, they had, free passage for the most part. But I have to say, Lord Aethelhelm could not have planned this impending, war based on false pretenses more expertly if he tried, honestly. He did not at all intend to kill his daughter, but at the same time, I really can't feel sympathy for that character because so many people already have died based on what he has done, and many more will die, unfortunately. I think we're going to get a battle, and I don't think even if Uhtred manages to reach the king and explain things to him, he doesn't have any evidence against Aethelhelm right now. And unfortunately, Aethelhelm, was very close to committing suicide, but then that one guy talked him out of it. And even worse than that is Aethelstan is now in his hands. He was the one that got picked to relay the message about the queen being dead, and now he's right in Lord Aethelhelm's encampment, surrounded by his men, so that's horrible too. But yeah, it was a very good episode, and honestly, I just want to get right to the next one, so as always, thanks for watching, and peace.